everyone, this is Mark Wong from PSB Academy Student Affairs and Industry Engagement, and welcome to another episode of Career Cookies. Now, if you have been wondering how you can use online recruitment platforms to effectively maximize your career search, this video is dedicated for you, so pay very close attention. Now, today we are privileged to have with us Mr. Andrew Tan, Country Manager of Wantedly, which is a rapidly growing social recruitment platform that has a presence in Japan, Hong Kong, and of course, Singapore. They also have a very strong network of employers on their platform, just to name a few: Grab, Singtel, Redmart, Sephora, and many other leading organizations. Andrew, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Awesome. Andrew, could you share with us a little bit about yourself and your work at Wantedly?
With pleasure. So, hi everyone. Thanks for having me here. A quick introduction. I too went to a private institution in Singapore for my university. And later on, I had a chance to study in New York State for 2 years.
Right.
In my college days, I had a chance to take up a finance internship and a few government sector internships. Wow. And in the course of that journey, I realized that I wasn't truly passionate about pursuing a finance job, even though that's what I majored in, or to join the government sector, even though, as we all know, it's a very stable option for Singaporeans.
Yes.
After graduation, I have always been in the startup and entrepreneurial ecosystem as a result, because I know what I don't want to do. And when I came back to Singapore, I co-founded a social enterprise called the Shield Collective, and our mission was to bring back the kampong spirit. Growing up, we always know that Singapore has a complaint culture, right? Spending time abroad and then returning home, I came to realize that this negativity was truly jarring and unnecessary. It was around this time when Storm also became very viral, but it was all negative citizen journalism.
Right.
So Shield was started to be an online media with crowdsourced and original content celebrating good news and good vibes only. We were hyper-local, and we also ran community events to raise funds and awareness for local beneficiaries, and had an e-commerce platform to support homegrown businesses.
Right.
Overlapping with this time, I spent a bulk of my professional experience as a pioneer member with a local travel startup called Be My Guest that I helped to grow regionally and then globally. And we successfully raised Series A during my time there. Now I have the experience of being a founder, then operator, and my next challenge was being an investor. And this experience was gained when I helped set up from scratch and operate One Belt One Road Venture Capital.
Wow.
Our mandate and the startups we were looking at would be based in the digital Belt and Road and to leverage on the Chinese and ASEAN markets. So this was what I just shared is a quick summary of my startup and entrepreneurial journey on one end or the other. But throughout these past few years, I was also very actively involved in my university alumni chapter, building it up and engaging our community of over 5,000 members as the chapter president. I always champion giving back to the community, in and out of the workplace, regardless. And I was inducted as a pioneer member of the Company of Good Fellowship by National Volunteer and Philanthropy Center.
That's right.
Why am I sharing all this? Throughout my career, I discovered what I didn't like, didn't enjoy, wasn't good at. I discovered what I was passionate about as well. And that is to help people help others and to build an ecosystem. And this journey led me to Wantedly.
Right.
Wantedly's mission is to create a world where work drives passion. And as a platform with over 2,000 Singaporean companies on board, I believe we can grow this ecosystem further still. And as a career portal with over 70,000 users in our database here in Singapore, I firmly believe as well that we can help job seekers, talents, individuals find their purpose.
Awesome. Now, when you mentioned that you help job seekers find a purpose, how exactly does that work? How does Wantedly function in a way that's different from other career portals?
Good question, Mark. Let me introduce to you our mission, our founding story, and answer that question as well.
Sure.
I'll start by introducing Akiko
Mhm.
Naka,
Okay.
our founder and CEO.
Yeah.
She founded our tech company in Tokyo, Japan back in 2010,
Mhm.
and with the mission to create a world where work drives passion.
Yeah.
This journey, this spark really disrupted the hiring scene with our social recruitment platform
Mhm.
called Wantedly Visit. And Akiko Naka has led us to great heights as we turned 10 years old last year. Her journey is really inspiring. She attended the prestigious Kyoto University. After that, she joined Goldman Sachs.
Mhm.
Later on, she chased her dream to be a manga artist.
Wow. Oh,
For
that's something
which,
new. Didn't know about that.
yes,
Yeah.
and it was through this community of artists,
Mhm.
she was scouted to then join Facebook.
Wow.
At 26 years old, she founded Wantedly to
Mm.
change the way of matching companies and talents. And the Wantedly way is now the de facto standard of searching for jobs
Mm.
and hiring in Japan.
Wow,
In
that's awesome.
2017,
Mm.
Akiko became the youngest woman to IPO in Japan, where she brought Wantedly public. And it was this year where we entered the Singapore market as well. And in addition to Japan and Singapore,
Mm.
as you mentioned, we are also in Hong Kong. So we want to replicate the success that Japan has in other markets internationally as well.
Mm.
So here in Singapore, we are focused on Wantedly Visit, which is our social hiring and employer branding platform. But we do have several other products as
Mm.
well, such as Wantedly People, Wantedly Perk, and a few more. Last year, Akiko was one of Forbes Asia Power Businesswoman for
Wow.
2019. And just last month, Akiko was recognized as one of World Economic Forum's Young Global Leaders of 2020.
Wow, that's
Can you
amazing.
guess? Yes. And can you guess that Naka-san, this year, she's not yet 36 years old.
Oh my goodness.
One, I know, right? So
Absolutely.
she's really a beacon of inspiration for all of us. Coming back to your question, right? Wantedly champions employer branding for companies to meet the right talent based
Yeah.
on shared values and purpose.
Mm.
And this is how we differentiate ourselves. We are not like the traditional jobs board where a company lists an opening with the
Mm.
job scope, with the salary, and then expect to get a large volume of resumes within 3 or 5 days.
Right.
We have a very strict guideline on
Mm.
how companies should present themselves on our platform, and we guide them how to do it as well.
That's
This
amazing.
includes presenting the company's mission,
Mm.
explaining the values, and the job post cannot list the salary because we don't want the motivation to apply for a role to be because of the sexy benefits.
Because of the money, and hence your tagline, where work drives passion and not money drives
That's
passion.
Right.
Mm.
So for the job seekers, for the users, all of us at one time or another, we are at that stage, right?
Yes.
When you use Wantedly, you can build up your personal brand on our platform by showcasing your portfolio, for example.
Okay.
And then you can visit companies that you can relate to.
Mm.
Wantedly Visit is how we disrupt the traditional interview process as well.
Right.
Instead of applying for a job, our call to action is want to visit. And if you are invited to meet with a company, instead of the traditional one-way, one-dimensional interview process where the HR manager reads off your resume, we introduce an experience that is more like dating.
Oh, wow.
Instead of jumping right into marriage, you get to know one another first. You get to see the work environment of the future employer. You meet some of the team members, which is so important because this is your work family. And mind you, you will be spending 70% of your time at work. And finally, you get to learn about the culture. All this will ensure that the employee engagement starts even before the hire is made. And we believe that retention will go up as a result because this hiring process that we are advocating for, it starts off differently when we focus on quality instead of quantity.
Right. Now, take us through the process of applying for a job on Wantedly. You mentioned that it's a lot like speed dating, a lot like dating. So when a student, or rather an applicant, goes through Wantedly, do they immediately get to visit a company, or is there a selection criteria to determine whether they get to visit the company or not?
So the screening still has to take place.
Okay.
The one-yearly visit achieves different outcomes for the companies and the users.
Yeah.
For the companies, the outcome that we want to achieve is you can meet quality candidates, you can meet the right fit because they already study, they already know, they already learn about your company, and also they're not motivated by the salary and benefits.
Right.
So that's the outcome for companies. For job seekers, the process is, first of all, you must do your homework. As you build your personal brand, you discover what you're passionate about, what does success look like for you, what's your ambition, and you will search companies according to that. Because all the information on our platform, all the content on our platform, talking about the company's mission, their founding story, what's it like to work in their environment. When you do relate and identify with a company that you might love, you think you will love, you apply to visit. Applying to visit does lower the barrier to entry a little bit. There may be some stigma with job hopping, right? So when you visit a company, it's not suggesting that you are job hopping, you are casting your net too wide out, and it's definitely not the behavior of spraying and praying. You really do your homework and research, and then you apply for a company that you think you can thrive at. Now back to the visiting part. When you apply to visit, it is showing your interest in that company. Of course, the company will have to screen you first. How they screen you is by looking at your profile. They will be able to understand where your values lie. And if they decide to engage with you, they will see your preference to visit for a casual chat or to visit for an interview. There will be a chat to and fro, which our platform allows, asking you about, why are you passionate about the hospitality sector, for example. Online chat first, and then eventually they will host you for the visit.
Awesome. No, I mean, it makes it sound very exciting for a job applicant to be able to visit a company even before joining it. Now, what are some tips you would have for an applicant to maximize perhaps his or her presence, or help them to stand out better so that they get selected for the visit?
All right, so now we are addressing students, right? And I've been there as well, you have been there as well. The common question that we face is, I'm just a young student, I don't have any experience. Okay, when you create a profile on Wantedly, it might be empty at the beginning because of this lack of experience. But that doesn't mean you cannot list a project work. You cannot list the classes that you are taking. Secondly, my advice is we live in a digital age where everything takes place online. Make sure you are active and professional on your social networks because Wantedly allows you to link to all of them.
Awesome. Now let's talk a little bit about the hiring scene right now in relation to what's happening around the world. Of course, we're talking about COVID. In your experience working with a network of partners, what are the top 3 industries right now that are still actively hiring?
So it's definitely easy to say technology, online sectors, and we see clear winners like Netflix and also Zoom, where this conversation is taking place. All this consumption of these services are skyrocketing, right? But if we were to dive deeper, some of the online companies, tech companies that stand out and help also in this time will be food delivery services, online learning platforms, digital entertainment, and remote communication tools. So these are just a few specific online space companies. But away from that, we can also look at the healthcare sector. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a healthcare professional to serve or work in the healthcare sector. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Finance companies, because of a lot of government measures being rolled out now to support
Yes.
struggling companies.
Mm.
And I would also say sales and marketing agencies alongside other business process outsourcing type of firms. Because as we face the knowledge that companies are reducing their headcount, unfortunately, they will still need to outsource key functions. They still need to run these key functions. So some of the functions that they will outsource that fall under the BPO type of category, include your HR, include your admin, include your ops function. And in the short term, this will be quite high demand because there's a scramble to plan and implement BCP, for example, and everything else that come along with it.
Awesome. For graduating students who may be worried about their prospects of finding a job during this period, what advice would you share with them?
This applies to everyone, and hopefully it's helpful for all the students.
Sure.
Continuously upskill yourself. Your education doesn't stop with your degree. Get certified in specific skills relevant to your industry or preferred role. And you have a lot of places to start, because in this uncertain period, there are many online platforms that have offered discounted or free courses for learners to study and improve themselves, to become more employable. And it's not just skills to pick up relevant to your industry or your degree specialization. You can also branch out. And what this allows you to do is to become more flexible, more adaptable as well. And I want to say that for students that are graduating or for fresh graduates, don't be afraid to explore an internship. Internships allow for companies in this moment to lower their risk of hiring. You can always negotiate for full-time transition along the way. Just know that at the end of the day, internship offers a form of employment and, more crucially, further training. And I guess my final point is nurture your pipeline. Build relationships with employers by not just leaving a good impression, but making sure you are on top of their minds consistently, so that when they're ready to hire and want to hire, they will think of you first. One of our hires at Wanterly, he was so positive and proactive in the follow-up and continued engagement that while he did not get the job the first time round, 6 months later, when we had another opening, we thought of him, invited him to visit again, and we hired him.
Oh, wow.
So, absolutely. I believe some of your speakers advocate for strong follow-up. That cannot be underestimated.
Absolutely. The art of the follow-up. In case you're watching this, we do have an episode in our previous Career Cookies video. So be sure to check it out. It's with Vivek Iyani. That's a shout out to him. Awesome. Now, at PSB Academy, there is a saying, and that's don't just learn, don't just listen, but always apply. So what are some action steps that you would like our students to take after watching this video?
I got to go back to the continued learning and development. Take up more courses and certifications. Don't limit yourself to your area of specialization so that you can have more options. Don't wait till it's too late to start. Start today, start right now.
Absolutely.
Recently, Wanterly was hiring for 2 intern positions. And when we looked through at the applicants, we saw a few students from junior college. They had just finished junior college. They had filled up a Wanterly profile. They are waiting for their university, and they applied for the internship. Now imagine, at their age, their mindset must be thinking, it's not about the age, it's about the attitude, right?
Yes.
And internship suggests that attitude is more important. It's a chance for you to learn on the job. So we respected this applicant so much that our team invited them to meet with us, and we shared with them about our company. So start early. you know, don't wait another second more.
Absolutely.
And then I must also say, build up your professional profile on Wantedly.
Yes.
I've had applicants coming to me to say that, can I give you my resume instead of the Wantedly profile? And I'll be very candid. If I, as the employer, am going to spend time and effort screening your application, you should also put in the effort to show me your best and eager self,
Correct.
rather than a spray and pray approach.
Mm.
Yeah, and I guess I will, you know, share a comment that ties back to our mission also. Students, fresh graduates, discover your passion and purpose. This will help you define success where you see yourself in 1 year or in 5 years or beyond. And that's very important.
Wow, that's powerful words from Andrew. Now, I hope that you've watched, you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to receive further support on your career preparation and development, always feel free to reach out to PSB Academy Career Services, and we'll be happy to support you as best as we can. If you would also like to get in touch with Andrew, he's also very active on LinkedIn as well as on Wantedly, of course, and you may also reach out to him via these platforms. Once again, thank you, Andrew, for taking time off your busy schedule to join us on our show. And this has been Mark Wong for PSB Academy Student Affairs and Industry Engagement. And I look forward to meeting you in the next episode. Cheers and stay safe.